Well, what
That's why I don't do it no more. That's why I'm so shallow.
What the ugly dude had to do with you cheating?
You don't have to be fine, but I have to be attracted to you.
Right.
Because you're not gonna be perfect. When you do something bad, I'm like, you not.
All that.
You not fine enough to be treating you this way.
It's really on bad.
Again, they don't need to be fine. Like, there's a whole range of dudes that are not fine that I am attracted to. Just a base level, you know. No, he was the opposite of that. He was very unattractive.
It's like, I got to, because I'm gonna cheat on you again.
For real, I'm never gonna treat you right. I'm never gonna do right by you. So.
Because my intuition was saying something not right.
So did you see text messages?
Text messages, and
really messy.
Yeah, I seen text messages, and I was like, okay, this what we doing?
Yeah.
And I confronted the person, and they was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, okay, yeah, no.
Okay. So now going back to this situation, when I say I deaded it, because it was more like, all right, you don't have any facts to back it up. He said no. You're going to have to squash it or break up with him. Like, at this point, you can't just be hanging it over his head but not moving nowhere.
Because he already gave you the answer.
Right. And you ain't got nothing else to bring to him. So, all right. So, I was like, all right, you're going to have to move on. When I was pregnant, though, I remember seeing, like, kind of like a love note. Actually, it was a whole ass, like, card that a girl at his job, I don't think it was a coworker, I think it was a patient, had sent him writing something to him like, oh, I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, but you're handsome, and all this other stuff. Why did you say that? Why is it in the drawer? Why am I holding your entire baby in my tummy reading this? So it's kind of one of those things that my eyes were so closed so tightly to the possibility. I just be real comfortable in relationships expecting that, wait, what? That's even a possibility? So it kind of opened my eyes to it, and it definitely did make me want to do all the things. But I just didn't have that energy. I'm more so going to just...
You wanted to protect it for your baby.
Yeah.
It's like, it's nothing...
I don't have the space to be concerned about this right now. I really chalked it up to the pregnancy was so hard. I was uncomfortable every day, and I know as much as I don't really like, it was about me at that moment, but he had a hard time because he wasn't able to make me happy at that moment. Like, nothing can help me but not being sick. So thank you, but I'm still very much uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so it was just a hard pregnancy that was very trying on our relationship. So I just chalked it up to, all right, we'll deal with all this shit once the baby is here, and I'm no longer having to make sure that I'm healthy while I am carrying her. So I just didn't really think about it. But the idea of cheating, it was something that was foreign to me.
Right.
Like, I really didn't think about it. But now, having gone through a situation so close to it, I really do just have a different understanding for women that go through it. So do you feel like you could stay with someone that cheated on you?
No, ma'am.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
No, ma'am. I was listening to a podcast that was talking about this, and people were on all sides of the fence. Why do you think you couldn't?
Because the trust is broken. It's like the trust is broken.
Yeah.
If I ask you a question about the situation, we're gonna have to keep going on this situation. If you do something as far as sending a text message, taking a call, I'm gonna feel some type of way about it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not put myself through those worries and through that frustration.
Yeah.
And, I'd rather just not and just leave it alone.
That's grown up. I mean, I do get that. Do you feel like there's any way that they could rebuild your trust in them?
We would have to date again, and we would have to relearn each other and build that trust back.
What does that even look like, dating again? I feel like once you be with somebody, it is so hard to get a clean slate.
Or therapy.
Yeah.
Because you can, sometimes when you're in relationships, you don't hear that person, or you need an outside person to listen to both. So if you're going to therapy, sometimes when you go to therapy, you're able to be quiet and listen to how this person is feeling and this person's thoughts.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Maybe I shouldn't say this.
Next episode.
No, we can say it, but I'll just mask it for the sake of that. But like when we were under the influence, that would be a way that he would always like for to have conversations, because
you wasn't all the way there.
I was there, but in a different way. My motor skills were like, I could listen a whole lot better. And sometimes I could even understand
things better. But sometimes people think that, because you're drunk,
or
you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So if I say something, she not gonna remember.
Oh no, that's the worst part is.
I'm listening real good.
I hear it all.
Hear it all.
I'm thinking quite clearly. I'm just speaking slower. But yeah, that would be another way that we would kind of do therapy. Have you ever cheated on somebody in a serious relationship, or?
No, I haven't. To be truthful, I haven't. When I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. I don't even. My friends would tell you I don't even look at other men. Yeah, like I'm focused on my person.
Yep. So that's how I am. But I have. But it was when I was dating the ugly dude. That's why I don't do it no more. That's why I'm so shallow.
Well, what the ugly dude had to do with you cheating?
Because, so this is why I'm shallow. Because if I'm not attracted to, and looks can fade, but there's a certain level of attraction. I'm not talking about you don't have to be fine, but I have to be attracted to you.
Right.
Otherwise, because you're not going to be perfect, when you do something bad, I'm like, you not.
All that.
You not fine enough to be treating me this way.
It's really on bad.
Why am I even here?
Okay.
And so I know that I won't treat a guy right if I'm not attracted to him at a certain level. Again, they don't need to be fine. Like there's a whole range of dudes that are not fine that I'm attracted to, just a base level, you know. But no, he was the opposite of that. He was very unattractive. So, and that was more like I didn't even want to be in that relationship. That relationship, it ended. I had to end it, but it was a very hard thing, like
to do.
Yeah, it was definitely it was very hard. So
it's like I got to, because I'm gonna cheat on you again.
For real, I'm never gonna treat you right. Never gonna do right by you. So, but outside of that, I am very much the same. Like I don't have eyes for nothing. Don't nobody exist. Which is why now, like it was hard getting out of that mindset. That was why I feel like I started dating so early, because in my mind, there was no other man in this world that I wanted or that wanted me but him. Like, as crazy as that is, like, that's all I knew for 10 years.
I don't think that's crazy. I think that you just had it in your mindset that,
it was forever.
I know you know me. You never showed me any signs that I know of, so there's nothing else to think of. Like, I don't think it was naive. I don't think it was anything. I just think that you knew this person for 10 years. Yeah. You never saw or was around anyone that would say, oh, this is going on. This is what I'm seeing. So you didn't think nothing of it. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Because it definitely was a struggle to get out of that, and felt real dumb a lot of times in the process of into the marriage and where I am now of trying to figure out where the hell I stand. Like in the beginning, just fighting for the marriage, I felt so stupid, and I knew better, but I didn't. It took a close friend of mine to really just be like, no, like
that's what
you believe in your marriage. Yeah. You're fighting for your husband. That is absolutely okay.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was selling my soul, girl. Like I just felt like I was doing way too much. And that's another thing that I think just happens in like marriages and like long-term partnerships. Like the things that you think, I will never say I'll never do something ever, because there are so many compromises and sacrifices that you make, and it happens both ways. Don't get me wrong, it's not like it should be one way for sure, but there's things that I never thought I'd be okay with that I do, and that I just never thought I'd feel comfortable doing, that you find a way in relationships. And I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's necessary, because at least to make relationships work, you have to adjust And usually you're not adjusting in a way that's easy. It's usually something that you have to work to do. Otherwise, there would be no problems. And that's just never the case. Okay, so you never cheated. You don't think you would take a cheater back. Do you feel that all men cheat?
I don't feel like that.
Okay.
I don't feel like all men cheat.
Okay.
I don't.
Do you feel like... I don't know that. I don't think I do either. I think that it is a type. I think that a lot of men probably cheat. But I think a lot of men, when they do cheat, is not from a place of anything more than opportunity. Like,
yeah,
she was there, you know?
Temptation.
Yeah, that
just
kind of thing.
Something.
It'd be dumb shit kind
just
of thing.
doing something.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be part of the crowd, or it's not even part of the crowd. I'm just out here doing something.
Yeah, like, it's just a certain level of maturity to not just be in these streets when a girl is throwing themselves at you. And we be, I don't know, as women, we just be out everywhere, and I'll be everywhere too. But I don't be everywhere with other people men, so.
Right.
Get that.
But at the same time, I think a man would do what a woman would allow. If he's given the opportunity to cheat, if the person is okay with, you know, I know I have a wife, okay, that's fine. Yeah, he's gonna move forward. Okay, and it's going from there.
Yeah, it is. So it really, to me, is just a kind of a mindset. Yeah. There are a lot of men that I know that are just like us, that hop in relationships and that's it. That's that. Like, cheating isn't a difficult thing for them to avoid. But there are some dudes that it takes every fiber of their being to not cheat, and it's just the type of man that they are. I don't know that I could you ever be in an open relationship?
I think I'm too jealous for that.
Yeah.
I think I'm too jealous. I mean, sometimes I'm like, that might be the thing for me, because I don't want to be bothered with you today. So go over there with whoever, and then come back when I want to be bothered with you. Yeah. But then I'm like, no, because if I really like him, I don't want him talking to somebody else.
Yeah. So I think that I've been exploring this concept because of some of the podcasts I listen to, and I've never experienced it now, so I can't say nothing with surety. But for me, like, sex is very much sex, like an act. So I don't know, I almost feel like I could be okay as long as I know that your loyalty is with me and that we are talking through everything. I don't know, I might be okay with it. I don't know.
So do you think you'll be open to polygamy?
Nah.
No. Just an open relationship.
Yeah, and even that openness is not like wide open. It's just a little bit open. Okay. Just a little bit open. Like, just to not feel so strangled. Just it depends on the guy though. Like, and that would only be because to me, you know, there's a level where sex is primal. It's just a need kind of thing. And I don't know, it goes both ways, because, you know, as our sex drive goes like this, theirs goes like this. So shoot, I sure wouldn't want to be trapped either. But I don't know. I think I could be open. I don't know that would save any kind of relationship though, so I wouldn't be looking for it as a band-aid. But I don't know. I am curious about it.
So, question: do you think women that are in open relationships are settling or compromising for their spouse to make them happy?
I think that a lot of them probably are. I don't think that all of them are, but I think that the ones that aren't, it's a very specific, unique relationship. Because I think most of it is just like making sure that they're not, like I just said those words, not feeling like strangled in a relationship. Like they have to make it work with you, right? And you just don't have it to give to them. Like, I think about my ex, and not like sexually, but like he needed a lot of affirmation, and I think a lot of it had to do with you just don't quite love yourself the way that you need to. I think that the affirmation is good, but I think the way that you might be needing it is there's something that you need to do some self-work on.
I can't give you.
Right, exactly. But sometimes I'd be like, man, if Becky could give you that affirmation, and go and let her clap for you, because
I'm putting in overtime.
I can't do this. I can't keep up. So I do understand that kind of concept of not expecting this one person to give everything to you. But the sad part is when you're in a marriage and your spouse can't give you all that you need, and you for whatever reason can't be okay with that, what do you do? And it's that moment where somebody is just really unhappy, and that sucks. But also I'm a commitment type person, so I was very much the type that if you can't give me everything that I need, then I gotta get it from within myself. I don't need to go find, you know, somebody else to give it to me. Like, usually it's self-work or time with God or something.
But see, that's the difference between men and women.
It's some men and some women. I think it's a commitment mindset.
Because when women need to build themselves up, they go to conferences.
Okay.
They get themselves
okay. We be with Sarah Jakes Roberts.
We do that. Then when men need their confidence boost, they go over to
Becky with the
the co-worker. So
yes, yeah, the little ugly girl that's been
you're right.
Hey,
anybody that boosts their confidence.
Okay,
that's the difference.
You so strong. Girl, shut up.
That's the difference. That's the difference between men and women.
Yeah.
We go into, you know, we in our journals, you know, listen to our music, and in the gym,
yoga, meditation,
all that,
Bible studies,
traveling, all that.
We sure do. We sure do. We will make this shit work. We are make it work type of creatures, and I feel like that's not fair because they sure. I won't say all of them, but it is a specific type of mindset, and I think most guys are not willing to do that, or not, I won't say not willing, but that's not their default to do that kind of work or whatever. They're just like that whole mindset of like, I just want my peace. Like, peace don't just come. Like, whole wars happen to get peace. Do you realize that? Right. Like, people don't just be at peace. It takes work to get peace. To be honest, the world is still moving. Problems are still happening. Like, peace is not something that's just, I think, as easily obtained as men would like it to be. It's not really the peace that they want to check out. And I'm sorry, but
you can't do that. Shout out to the men that's doing therapy and working
on
themselves.
Yeah, my ex doing a whole bunch of therapy now. I'm like, oh, look at that, look at you. Fuck nigga. All right, so do you think that cheaters can change?
I think they can, but it's going to take for the person or the woman or the wife to leave them for them to want to change.
Probably. I think that
you have to have an ultimatum.
Yeah, I think, like, as far as staying with somebody after infidelity and can they change, I think it has to be a very small percentage of people that can rebuild a relationship after somebody's been unfaithful. Like, I just think that, and it's not even just unfaithfulness. I think even in my marriage, like, there's only so much that you can, I won't say forgive, but exist in spite of. Not just unfaithfulness, but any type of damage that's happened in your relationship. Like, y'all need to get to counseling before that damage has gotten to a certain level.
Right. Because
you get to a certain level and it's like, at some point, I'm not going to believe anything that happens in counseling because I've seen this for too long. And I do think that kind of happened with that. We've been trying to find counselors, but finding counselors when your relationship isn't bad is also very hard. Like, we would go to counselors and they would be like, oh yeah, y'all just married, that's all. That's it. And so they wouldn't really take us seriously enough. Like, we were fine. Nobody was abusing anybody or cheating on anybody. Like, it was just, we don't get along sometimes or a lot of times. And they're like, yeah, that's just regular relationships. Normal. So they wasn't giving us the tools that we needed. And finding a therapist can be very difficult. It takes a lot of, it's like finding a good church. You have to go and try a lot out. You got to sit through a service and find out if it works for you. And that's time and that's effort, and it's annoying, especially when your partner is not gung-ho about going to therapy. Like, trying to drag a dude to therapy, it's hard enough to get him to go to one session. When that session is bad, you'd be like, oh, but it was just probably the person. We'll find another. They like, how many people we got to try? You know, it's very difficult when you're not both like just as excited about going to therapy, which most of the time they're not. So, you know, I do get how frustrating it can be to try to find somebody good, but if you don't take care of those issues before they get heightened,
right,
it is really hard to just undo that shit. Like, you be saying, when you are mad, like, I think of did you hear Kendrick Lamar's album?
I heard one song. I didn't hear the entire album.
You got to go back and listen to the song. What was it called? I don't remember what it's called. I got to look it up again. But it was him and I guess the girl were like fighting.
Right.
And when I tell you, like, when you in that heated moment and you say some things that you can't take back, that's how it was. And that's how it be. Like, once you get to that moment where you are saying those things, it's really hard to get past that sometimes.
Because it always lives in your head. But it was interesting that you said that when you're married to someone for XYZ number of years and they're doing something that you're feeling like, okay, that's not okay, the response you get is, y'all just married. Yeah. Well, it's just year 7. Get to year 20.
Girl,
and then
about it.
Then you see what a marriage really is about.
They said that so many times.
And you like, no, it's not okay.
It's not okay. Cool. It's not okay. And that's exactly what I thought. Like, I heard it was like, okay, it's the 5th year when it gets good. Okay, it's the 7th year when it gets good. Well, guess what? 7th year, we tapped out. So, thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah, it's a lot of work to do at all times. I mean, there's a podcast that I listen to with a cute black family, and it was year 17 for them. Like, I'm not gonna make it 17 years, but like, the struggle in marriage, it can be long. You can have long periods of time where y'all are not clicking. And at that point, it really does take somebody that has the mindset of commitment, because that's the only way you're gonna get through. Because if you're looking to be happy in this marriage, or you're looking to be happy from this person,
it's not going to happen because the damage already done.
Yeah, it could take years. Whole ass years of struggling to enjoy each other. And I don't think people know that about marriage. I think that they think that, okay, this must not be the right person, which marriage is a choice. It's a whole choice.
It's a whole job.
Yes. Like,
you got to put in a lot of work.
You do. It doesn't just happen. Some people it happens easier than others, but at some level it is saying, I commit to try to work through this no matter what. And I don't think people understand that. They think that it's just going to come together, and that's not reality.
The struggle.
All right. You have any other thoughts on, I guess, cheating in relationships?
No, ma'am, because I'm not about that life. I don't like to be played with.
I mean, I hear that. I'm
not about that life.
I think it's a lot harder to leave than I believed it would be.
I probably would tell on myself. That's how bad. Like, I'm pretty sure I could do it, but like, I probably would tell on myself if I tried to cheat.
I would absolutely tell on myself.
Yeah, I'd be like, you just don't come home. Like, just like, I'm with my new man. I'm over here with a little stickily. Like, I'm not coming home. We already having issues in our relationship. I'm gonna come over there.
I don't think I would cheat in a serious relationship. If I'm with a man that I'm happy with, even if I'm not happy with him at that moment. But would I stay with a guy after cheating?
I would say this: if the relationship was built on a friendship and you guys truly know that person's character, and you know that them stepping out had to do with some type of lack thereof in a relationship, I think you guys could probably bring it back together and love each other again. You would just have to do some therapy and get back that love that you once had. And the difficult part comes
the thing that
you have children in the midst of
that to me is like, at this point now I'm like, shit, I can do anything.
Yeah,
but
superwoman. It's
like the thing that happens when you feel like somebody's been unfaithful to you. It's almost like when you be about to break up with a dude, or when you do break up with a dude and he turns into, man, fuck you, ho. Like, I ain't never like your ass anyway.
Right.
They become completely different. Like, what was that energy yesterday when your head was laying on my shoulder? Like, they become a completely different person in your eyes, and it's like, did I ever know you? So even, I don't know, if it started as a friendship, maybe it would be different. I've never honestly started as a true friendship. Like, I always seen you and wanted to fuck. So
right, it's like this action isn't just no random
right.
Okay,
right.
if it's one night, but if it's months, years you guys been cheating with each other. Because this is how I look at cheating. If you're over, even though they say men don't have any, like, they can just have sex with people and it's nothing. But when you guys have that intercourse, you're having feelings with each other, and even though you can leave that person alone, that woman probably can't leave you alone. So now it's going to build on something. And it's like, just in my mind, knowing that you're cheating, like, you're telling me you're going to work, you're telling me you're over here, are you truly there? And I don't want that to be in the back of my mind. Because if I forgive you, that means that I can't keep bringing this situation up. So
that's true. I'm very much the same way. Like,
and I know me, I'm going to be the type that I'm going to bring it up.
I sure will.
If you do one little thing, I'm like, wait a minute.
Work.
You at work.
Work.
So it's like, it's no point of trying wasting time, because we're just gonna keep clashing.
I ain't gonna deal with it. I feel like that's very much the truth. They'd be on a probationary period for a long time, and that I don't know if they would be able to survive the probationary period, because you gonna be an ain't shit nigga for a long time.
It's like, I'm not gonna believe what you say. I'm not gonna believe where you're at. It's like, it's just gonna be a bad time for both of us. So I'd rather just let you go your way, I go my way. And it just be that we just weren't meant for each other at that time. I do think that that's true. I think it would be hard for me to sever it, but I would do it. And it also depends on how dirty he did me, because I might have that, oh, fuck you forever. Right.
If they were super apologetic, it might be harder to be like, nah, bruh. Might get it in a couple more times, but I'm gonna have to leave you alone. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Because if that person initiated a conversation with that woman, that means that that's just in you.
And also the embarrassment of this woman being all up, like,
oh, my man, my husband. I'm home, I'm working, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, stupid. I'm taking care of the kids, I'm at home just thinking, oh, my man at work, nothing going on, and he's out there just doing what, that just don't sit right in my spirit. It don't sit right.
Walking around here just looking stupid.
Just looking stupid. Because
that is embarrassing.
So, that don't, no. So I'd rather just have my peace. And no, I just can't do it.
I feel you on that. I think it'd be harder than I think, but I also think that I'm not with the shits
at all.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode. As always, hit me up on social media at It's Alexis, that's ISS_ALXSS. And for podcast listeners, that's Lex Talk, LEXTLK. And I can't wait to see you guys in another episode.